Salvete, and welcome back to Agora Academy. In this lesson, we're going to review some grammar terms that are absolutely critical to learning and reading Latin successfully. So, if you already thoroughly understand the terms subject, direct object, and verb, then you just go ahead and skip this lesson. However, if you have any doubt, even the teensiest bit, you should stick around for the review. If you have any problems with these terms, it's going to make Latin much trickier than it has to be. Okay, so let's look back at the sentence that we were looking at last time. The man chases the dog. The verb, in this case chases, expresses the action. This is always the crux, essential part of a sentence, because every sentence needs a verb. But a sentence with only a verb is not complete. Chases, by itself, is not a complete sentence. After all, you're left with some important questions. For example, who is doing the chasing? Or in other words, who is performing the action of the verb? The answer to that question is the subject of the sentence. The subject of the sentence is the noun or pronoun that is performing the action. So, in our original sentence, who is doing the chasing? Well, that would be the man. So the man is the subject of the sentence, because the man is the one performing the action in that sentence. The man is the one doing the chasing, and therefore the man is the subject. Okay, now what other questions do you have when you look at that sentence? The man is chasing. Well, great, but what is he chasing? Now the answer to that question will give you the direct object of the sentence. The direct object is the word that receives the action of the verb. What is the man chasing? That'd be the dog. The dog is being chased. In other words, the dog is receiving the action of the verb. That means the dog is the direct object of the sentence. Okay, now let's look at another sentence. The woman carries the grain. The verb is carries, but this verb by itself presents us with a couple of questions. First of all, who is doing the carrying? Remember, that's the subject of the sentence. So who is it? That's right, the woman is doing the carrying, so the woman is the subject of the sentence. Next question. What is being carried? In other words, what is receiving the action of the verb? That's right, the grain is being carried, and so the grain is receiving the action of the verb. That means grain is the direct object. Okay, great. Complete the exercises after the video and be very certain that you understand this concept. It's absolutely critical to your ability to read and translate Latin. The reason has to do with what we were talking about in the last lesson. There, we noted that Latin does not primarily communicate using word order, but instead by putting different endings on words to show what each word is doing in a sentence. You will use different endings for subjects and direct objects, and so the first step in being able to work with Latin is being able to understand these grammatical terms. That's it. Bonam fortunam.